What kept Sean Monahan with the Canadiens will benefit the team in the years to come. Players on winning teams will often voluntarily mention how important their coach has been to their success. Players on losing teams don't do it nearly as often, at least not without being asked. Except Martin St. Louis keeps getting that praise from his Canadiens players who experienced a season full of losses, and they often do it without being asked. Sean Monahan did the same thing when explaining that one of the biggest reasons for signing a one-year deal worth nearly $2 million to return to the Canadiens was so that he can continue playing for St. Louis. But one thing Monahan could have had by testing the market was an opportunity to win, which he definitely is not getting in Montreal next year. What Monahan is getting instead is an environment he now knows and likes, and most importantly, trusts. And that environment could allow him to better sell himself as a player to the rest of the league, or perhaps even to the Canadiens as an unrestricted free agent next summer. I think it was the best thing that could have happened to me, to be honest, was all the time off. Now I feel normal. I feel ready to go. I'm hungry, he said. Marty really helped me love the game more and more as the season went on. Going back there and having an opportunity to be comfortable from day one and knowing the systems and knowing my teammates, it's exciting. I have a lot to prove, but the biggest thing for me is to just prove it to myself. He's just really relatable, Monahan said. He's easy to talk with. He really understands the game, especially today's game. I played against him. He didn't play that long ago. I mean, you look at his resume, he's a Hall of Fame player. He's a Hall of Fame person. He's somebody you can lean on. He wants you to get better. He helps you get better. And I think having that kind of coach, the way he runs practices, his energy, his enthusiasm, his positive mood every day, it makes you really want to succeed and work for him. I think he's the type of coach that I've never really had, I guess, kind of in my life. He's definitely a big reason why I decided to come back. But one thing we do know, because of the mountain of evidence we already have less than 2 seasons into the job, is how St. Louis can get the most out of every individual player he has. We see it after every morning skate when he is working with a Michael Pezzetta or a Rem Pitlick or the other healthy scratches, one of the only head coaches in the NHL who does that. We see it when his players talk glowingly about his video sessions, how efficient and effective they are, and we see it when veteran players talk about the positivity St. Louis brings despite the overall negative tone of a season. And it's not only Monahan. The standard, we're trying to raise it every day. David Savard said prior to the final game of the season, obviously last year was a tough year, and Marty brought that positive vibe into the dressing room to just keep building. If we're having a tough game, we learn from it. We look at what we can do better and just keep improving every day. I think everybody comes to the rink ready to work. I think it's a massive change of not being just negative, coming in and just being down on ourselves. We had some tough stretches earlier last year, and it was tough coming to the rink when you feel like you have no answers. But with Marty, it's just been positive. We learn every day and we get better every day as a group. At some point, the Canadiens will be in a position where they need to add a player on the open market, where they need to sell their program and vision and path to winning. The more times players say things like what Monahan said Wednesday, and the more players around the league hear those things, the easier that process will become.